Hi everyone, Teddy Baldassarre with TeddyBaldassarre.com, and in this video we're looking at a brand new watch from Hamilton added to the Hamilton Khaki Field collection, the Hamilton Khaki Field Murph with a white dial at 38 millimeters. So if you're new here, this is where we cover watches available for purchase on our website, TeddyBaldassarre.com, as an authorized dealer. In this video, I'm gonna actually be handing off this review to my colleague, Danny Milton. Danny is a member of our team. He has been so for the past 6 months, and he's gonna be going into the details, everything you need to know about this Khaki Field Murph. He's a longtime owner of the black dial version and also now owns the white dial, so he is in a unique position to be able to talk about this in great depth. So in this video, we'll do a deep dive in this timepiece, final points of consideration at the end, but also throughout the video, if you have further questions or are looking to buy this watch, check out the link in the description down below to the product page. Without further ado, I'll hand it off to Danny. We'll take a closer look at this watch.
The Hamilton Murph is a watch that I am very familiar with. In fact, it is a watch I have spent a lot of time with. I recently wrote a story about my exploits for nearly 2 years with the Hamilton Khaki Murph 38. But this year, Hamilton went and surprised us all by delivering a watch nobody saw coming. The Murph 38 with a white dial. And you know what? I decided to pick that one up too. Maybe it's the movie lover in me. Whatever the reason, today I want to share my observations about a watch that is a little bit controversial, but that has grown on me over time, even if I've only had it for about 2 months. So what makes this watch controversial exactly? Well, everything. And I don't mean that pejoratively. The thing is, the original Murph was, truly, a film prop, a movie watch. It wasn't until the fans demanded that Hamilton make it real that the watch was made manifest at its true, original 42mm size. And then, a couple years later, Hamilton heard the cries for a 38mm version and delivered. So you could say that the Murph has always been a watch born from demand. First by Christopher Nolan for the film Interstellar, and then by us, the watch nerds. The black dials in either size were true to the movie Murph. It's this new white dial that deviates. As a fan of the watch and the movie, I had to get the white Murph. And so this is an owner's review, having just shy of 2 months with the watch. My first sort of high-level observation is the idea that the Murph 38 white dial takes the collection into a new place. It was launched alongside the black dial on a bracelet, and both releases signify a shift from a mere movie prop watch to a collection in its own right. And I think that's a good thing. In fact, maybe that doesn't matter at all. Maybe all that matters is what it's like to own one. That's kind of all that really plays into whether or not a watch quote-unquote works. So my initial visceral response to this watch was, whoa. You see, the white dial is very different, even if it's just a mere dial color change. If you have ever seen the elusive albino dial Rolex Explorer, you know what I'm talking about. I have been wearing the watch fairly consistently of late, and the more I wear it, the more I connect with it. I mean, who doesn't like a simple, time-only, white dial watch on a strap? It's a recipe that has worked in this industry forever. And that's the experience with the white Murph. It has become this very normal, very comfortable chameleon of a watch that works in a variety of scenarios and doesn't have to be connected to a certain science fiction movie. The 38mm diameter with a height of 11.1mm and an abbreviated lug-to-lug of 44.7mm matches what we have come to know and love about the previous black dial 38mm Murph, including the 3 o'clock 6.3mm push-pull crown. This case offers 100 meters of water resistance and serves as a trusted companion for everyday wear. The overall finish of the brushed steel case is a steady reminder of its toolish roots from the film Interstellar. But like any white dial watch, this one projects itself as slightly larger when worn on the wrist, solely due to the color alone. To me, this is welcome, as I have noticed the black dial version, which I also own, to occasionally appear a little too small, mostly due to that short lug-to-lug. If I had to pinpoint one amazing benefit to this dial color change here, it is the overall wearability. I would be lying if I said I bought into this dial right out of the box, but it did slowly grow on me over time to the point that I really connect with it now. There is something so inevitable about the dial color that we honestly should never have been surprised when it was released in the first place. Sure, the Fotina is strong, but when on the wrist, all of that fades away. This watch, as I mentioned before, is a true chameleon that can be worn in all manner of scenarios. Hamilton saw fit to maintain the same stitched leather strap on this model, which stays true to the original film-worn Murph. And for the most part, I like the strap. It adds more ruggedness, where a strap would typically add dressiness. The only drawback here is that, at least to my eye, The new batch of Murph straps are stiffer than I remember and, at the same time, a bit shinier. But I think of this like a baseball glove. A few nights under the mattress and it'll be good to go. The strap is finished with a large steel pin buckle enclosure, but if you're feeling the urge to mix it up, the 20mm lug width allows for nearly unlimited experimentation. Not to bury the lead, but the big difference from the original Hamilton Khaki Field Murph 38 here is the dial. One hallmark of the original was this smooth, aged black color. Here, the white has an aggressively rugged texture that ratchets up the tool watch aesthetic to 11. The faux patina on the cathedral hands is also more pronounced and feels very much like aged tritium, in the best way possible. The way that the white hands work against the white dial adds a bit of levity to what could have been a very heavy design if done otherwise. It's very demure, very mindful. The only other real difference is the fact that, due to the white dial, the numerals are printed in black, as is the Hamilton logo and other text. Overall, you are left with a quote-unquote polar effect. The dial texture I just mentioned also reminds me of another example of hot horology, the Patek Philippe Calatrava 5226G. A strange comparison, no doubt, but if you look closely, maybe you'll see it too. And it's nice to know that such details exist on a watch in this price segment. As we have mentioned in the past, the 38mm Murph in black or white houses one of the better movements in the segment, the H10 automatic with a base ETA C07.611 caliber. Hamilton is able to keep the price down while featuring such a movement due to its position under the broader Swatch Group umbrella. The H10 features both hacking and hand winding, and its reduced beat rate of 3 Hz, or 21,600 vibrations per hour, was intentionally slowed to extend the former 38-hour power reserve to the now 80 hours of power reserve. Here, you also get a Nivacron balance spring, a proprietary alloy produced by the Swatch Group that delivers a variety of benefits, including better regulated timekeeping despite the stress of temperature changes, shocks, and magnetic fields. This family of movements are typically well regulated from the factory with a free-sprung balance. The Hamilton branded rotor also illustrates the attention paid here aesthetically as well as mechanically. So we now technically have 4 different Murph options in our lives now. We have the original 42mm version as seen in the film Interstellar with the signature Morse code loom on the central seconds hand. We have the smaller 38mm Murph with the black dial. We have the Murph black dial 38 on bracelet, and the subject of today's video, the white dial Murph 38. So zeroing back in on the white dial Murph, let's look at some of the pros and cons. The dial contrast is okay, and the faux patina coloration is different from the black dial version, in that it is more pronounced. The strap as well is a bit stiff and has that sheen to it. In terms of pros, this is a familiar package with a new dial. A simple change transforms the watch, and it gets better over time. The texture is a constant surprise in different lighting scenarios, and this is still one of the best everyday field-style watches under $1,000. And with the new dial option, we get more choices, and choices are always better. So, final thoughts and considerations? Well, the Murph is no longer just a movie watch, but rather a collection all its own. The white dial brings a fresh dimension to the design and is perfect for those who feel a connection to the film, and truly, for those who don't. Options in the watch world are a good thing, and sometimes we don't know what we want until it's presented to us. We asked for a 38mm Murph, and we got one. We never asked for a white dial, but we got that too. My 2 months have proven that this model is worthy of the mantle, and it certainly deserves to be called the Murph.
All right, guys, that's all we have for this video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Really do appreciate that. I don't just throw that out there at the end. It does help out the channel. Also, if you are in the market for this watch, we do have it available on TeddyBaldassarre.com. TeddyBaldassarre.com is an authorized dealer for over 30 brands. Every purchase from TeddyBaldassarre.com comes with a full factory warranty, quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer support. And also, if you have any questions about watches that we have on our website, reach out to us on live chat. We're on live chat around 18 hours a day. One of my team members can be in touch if you have any questions, and we'd love to be able to help you out with your future purchase. Also, any purchase from our website helps support the content and allowing us to keep doing what we're doing here, and we love what we do. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.